Energized show, up the Irish.
Okay, what's going on, guys? And welcome to a brand new episode of Energized, brought to you by Forged Irish Stout. Ross,
are you intoxicated or something?
Introduce the guest, man.
Today we are bringing you the fighting pride of the North Side. It's Mr. Main Event, Nate Kelly. Nate, how you doing, bud?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm in good spirits. I'm healthy. I'm fit. Just can't complain. Everything is working out in life how I wanted to work out at the minute. So have no reason to be upset or anything like that. So I'm happy out.
And
that's what we'd like to hear.
Yeah, and you're full of acai these days, aren't you?
Full of acai. Not too much now when the weight cut is coming into play, but you can guarantee when I'm done this fight, I'm gonna stock up and absolutely get fat on the acai. Yeah.
Nate, tell us this: did this new KO acai just get the plug in early? Did this business come from the windfall from PFL Dublin?
Sort of like I was actually thinking about it a while. I just saw there was a big demand for it, like at tournaments and stuff like that, jiu-jitsu tournaments and stuff like that. And there's always a queue at the stands, and I really enjoy acai. I'm a big kind of fan of it. I've tasted it everywhere I go. If there's an acai bowl, I'll be buying it just to have a taste of the different varieties of acai and stuff like that. So you could say I'm a little bit of an enthusiast. So I the idea came across my mind, and I just said, "Fuck it, let's just run with it and see what happens." And yeah, it's nothing too big at the minute, boys. Just a little project I'm working on the side, and so we've yet to see how it does and how it takes off. But I'm hoping for it to grow very organically and for it to be a nice little side hustle in the future.
The acai guru. I'm sure there's going to be plenty of acai at Bellator Belfast on March 22nd. But Nate, we want to bring you back to being the main event at PFL Dublin just in December. Got from the walkout with Aslan playing. Like, what was that the whole week like for yourself?
Yeah, it was. I thought the whole week was really focused for me. I felt like obviously because you know the pressure of being the main event in your hometown. And all that comes with that, you know what I mean? I just felt really in the zone and focused. I felt like I was meant to be there. I felt like I was destined to be there. I felt like the opportunity that I got, the pressure that comes with that. Like I always feel like I rise to the occasion when I'm under high stress opportunities or high pressure opportunities. So it was just about me staying as professional as I always am and making sure to capitalise on the moment when it was time to go. And I did just that from the fight week, leading up to the fight. From all the media, I done all the behind the scenes stuff I did with Motion Masters, who's working with me, following me around the last while. You know, all of that was a real taste of what it's like to be kind of in that kind of high profile, busy, you know what I mean, professional athlete, and with all the media, the cameras, and I got a real taste of what it was like to be a real kind of superstar in my own sense. So. Yeah, but I loved it. I really enjoyed it all, and like that, give me the high pressure opportunities, and I'll smash them. You know what I mean? And it was just another night for me to show that I'm meant to be at the elite and top stages, and with all the pressure on me, and I feel like I showed it in a nice manner on the night, 100%.
Yeah, Ross, what a night it was to be at as well.
Yeah, it was incredible. It was insane, and like obviously you topped off the night. And as a fellow PFL man might say, the core course box pressure is a privilege, and you rose to the occasion on that time, Nate. And it was unbelievable to see, and it was the best result for Irish MMA on the night as well. Like that, it was really important that you got the win. Obviously, you know, you said you like to rise to the occasion of that, but did you feel any extra pressure? Being the main event, did that make any difference to you come fight night, or did it, you know, when you were walking out, you're like, right, this is the last fight of the night, better send the crowd home on a good note, or are you just concentrating on doing your thing?
excuse me. And I was just concentrating on doing my own thing. If anything, I was actually very calm. Felt like I was too calm before it. I had a nap in the change room for like, I don't know, 20 minutes. I just woke up from that a little bit groggy and tired, and there was actually a point where I was like, fuck, Nate, you're actually fighting in less than a half an hour. You need to wake the fuck up a little bit. I just felt exhausted. Obviously, it's the long week and the busyness of it all and blah, blah, blah. And there was actually a point where I was kind of like trying to bang on my chest to wake myself up a bit, because sometimes I'm really pumped and hyped going into fights, whereas this one I was just super chill. But what I did was I just decided to run with how my body was feeling. I didn't try to hype myself up too much. I just went with how I was feeling. I didn't try to change the rhythm of the way my body was working on that day. Franz actually, obviously, like a few of my team lost, and Franz came back after losing, and he just made a joke. He was like, Jesus, Nate, it's up to you now to save us. And I was like, fuck yous all. These are all losing, putting me under pressure. You know what I mean? For fuck's sake. Like, and we just had a bit of a laugh about it, just to lift the spirits a little bit. But, you know, Franz came back to the changing room. There was obviously Will, Kiefer, John, Dave, me boxing coach Stephen. We're all there, and you know, it was just a nice little bit of a giggle before we went out to face the real seriousness of the situation in having the fight. But I didn't feel. I felt like I kind of owed it to the fans. You know what I mean? Since they made their way out there to like have that Irish man winning and end the night in somewhat of a good manner. And then plus as well, like all me, like whatever, be friends and family, like, you know what I mean? I really, really wanted to win for them, like, because it was such a big night for them. Obviously, from like looking through their eyes, from their perspective, it's me. They know me personally. I'm, you know, a good friend, a family member. They love me to bits, and they're on edge all day, waiting for the big event to come. And I'm last, and their nerves are hanging on by a thread. And I just felt like I owed it to all them to make sure to win. But regardless, on the night, I just felt so calm. I felt like I was meant to be there. And you know, soon, like I said, I was a little bit tired, but a little bit flat. But as soon as I walked out and heard the fans singing "Crazy World" by Aslan, and I just got a surge of energy through my body. And even Dave, my coach Dave, was like, because I was so calm before it, they were really liking how calm I was and stuff. And then when I got into the ring, I was like, you know what I mean? I was like fucking living off the crowd, and I was banging on my chest. And Dave called me over and was like, "Controlled aggression, Nate. You know what I mean? Don't get too lost in the moment here." But I can't myself back down there when it was time to fight. But just when I first walked out and everyone was going mad, I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna hype them up and live in the moment. You know what I mean? Really soak in the energy and try to really memorize it all in the best way I can.
Yeah, it felt like a world title fight. The way the atmosphere was, it was fucking unbelievable.
Yeah, I was like, where's Nate's belt? I was like, I don't care. Give him one of those made up ones that the guys got the weekend. he deserves it. But no, it was incredible to see, and like it was so well deserved. I suppose following on from that, did you have any questions with the PFL brass afterwards? Like, did they give you any feedback on how they felt the week went and where they'd like to point you in the next direction? I know obviously you're booked in for Bellator and Belfast, but did they give you any indication what they want to do next with you for 2024? Because obviously, you know, it was in December, so like it's a good way to spark conversations for this year.
Didn't have much conversation. I actually kind of knew about the Bellator gig on the Tuesday before I fought. I was talking to Greg, one of the PFL lads who handles me, and he was kind of, because obviously that was my fourth fight in the contract and I have one left now. So he was kind of just briefly was like, look, we might stick it on that Bellator next year or whatever in Northern. And I was like, yeah, sound, because I was out one fight before the end of the first quarter, which is going to be the end of March. So I was out of fight from then, and he was like, look, we're meant to have a card on around then, so we'll probably try on that, but we've yet to discuss that. And I was like, yeah, sound. Like I said to Greg, I was like, look, Greg, I'm just happy to be fighting. Get me in. Don't have me sitting on the sidelines. Get me in. Get me busy. If it's on PFL, it's on Bellator. You know me, I'm professional as it comes. I'm gonna jump over to one or the other. Once it's about there, I'll jump on it. You know what I mean? So that's kind of how the Bellator thing came across. Obviously, I have to win this now in a nice manner to then further any opportunities that might come. So I think after this one now we can start to discuss and see what happens. But this would be the first one this year. I don't know if they'll put me into any tournaments this year. They might have me fight just on a few more cards, like on single bouts, just to see out this year, and then maybe next year I'll get the chance. But we've yet to see we've yet to discuss that. That's just me presuming and me just thinking of what might happen. So, but I don't like to think about what might happen, because then you might get disheartened if it doesn't go that way. So
yeah,
I'm a real go with the flow type fella. So all I can do is win this one and see what doors open for me then. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. And I suppose it's a bit of strange territory at the moment, because obviously PFL and Bellator, they had their event last night, and or sorry, at the weekend, and it would almost made sense if that was like sort of it, if that makes sense, and they like dropped Bellator or whatever, and they went forward as PFL. But obviously they're coming on as Bellator. Are you still just directly dealing with PFL people for this Bellator card? Is that how it works for you?
Yeah, basically, yeah. I'm just working with the PFL team as per usual, and but obviously I think they'll have they'll like sub branch it a little bit. So the PFL lads are running it, but they might have a different team now. I've yet to experience it. I'll find out now in March what way it really works, and see what kind of plan they're putting together for the future, and how logistically how things are working personally with the staff and blah blah blah. But for now, I'm just dealing with the PFL. I don't even really contact them that much. It's kind of it's like, you're fighting this time, okay. This is who you're fighting, okay. Send over your medical and sponsorship stuff, and that's it really. Like, there's not really much communication that goes into it. I don't really think there's a need to over communicate either, because at the end of the day, it's just getting in to have a fight against another opponent. Same as the last four. You know what I mean? All that really matters is that I show up on the night and win, and then from there, when the contract is up, we can kind of discuss what way things are going to work. But yeah, I'm just, like I said, I'm a proper chill, go with the flow type fella. Tell me to fight there, I'll fight. Tell me who to fight, I'll fight them. And that's just kind of how I work. So I feel like I'm easy to work with. And in hindsight now, since PFL and Bellator are merging and are merged or whatever, it's probably going to create more opportunities for me to fight. So that's what I'm looking forward to doing, just fighting as much as possible and gaining that experience.
I do have one gripe with this card, Nate, and I don't know if you've seen it. I definitely tweeted out at some stage. I'm not happy with your position on the card. I'm not happy that you've gone from main event Nate to on the prelims. I think they fumbled the bag here a bit on you. I think you should be on the main card. I think they made a big deal in Dublin, and they should be continuing to make the big deal of you and putting you on the main card for Bellator Belfast. That's what I think they should do, and I think they need to right that wrong. They need to fix that. You know what I mean? If they're putting their star power behind you and their stock behind you in Dublin, and you won fantastic fashion, I think you need to be on the main card come Belfast. I think that's what you deserve, and I feel like that's where you should be. Did you take any notice of the current positioning of the card?
Yeah, well, I do agree with you in one sense from the terms of the points you made, but I kind of also have this respect for the Bellator kind of OGs who have been around the while. So, and I understand that I'm just a PFL head coming over to this kind of Bellator card. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
I kind of respect that given the Bellator lads who were with Bellator originally, they're a bit of respect, because at the end of the day, they've put the work in with Bellator this far. So to have me, I'm not saying stranger, but some randomer who's, you know what I mean, not really had much toys with Bellator bar one fight, to come in and take over the card and leave all the kind of more experienced people who even have more fights than me to take their shine. I understand why they're kind of doing that in a sense, but at the same time, I agree with the point that you're making. But to be honest, I understand why people would think that. But for me, it's just business. I don't give a shit where I fight on the card. If I'm last fight, if I'm the first fight, I'm just there to do my job and to fight. And the one benefit of it is that I can actually fucking fight and then watch the fights after. Normally, I'm last all the time, so I don't get to see any of the fights. So it's going to be nice for a change to actually get in, have me fight, and then chill back with my friends and family and watch hopefully Carmore win a world title. So that's what I'm looking forward to doing on the night.
Yeah, well, look, there obviously is big stars. What's called for the Irish scene on the card. Like obviously, Carl Moore's fighting for a world title against Corey Anderson, which is like a world class light heavyweight title fight in any promotion. Like they're two unbelievable fighters, and then obviously, James Gallagher's on the show as well, the Jimmy Show. You know what I mean? Like he brings in an awful lot of eyeballs. But Nate, just gonna say one more time, I think your name needs to be up there with those guys. I know you're saying you're the PFL blow in here, come here, but this is Professional Fighter Leagues presents Bellator Belfast, and when it comes to PFL, when you look back in the history books, the first ever man to headline a PFL event in Dublin was the one and only fighting pride of the North Side, Nathan Kelly, and you better believe it. And I just want to see the respect put on your name that it deserves. Obviously, I know you're probably less pushed on it, that you're going to get to enjoy to watch the fights afterwards, but look, it just has to be said, I think, Basmo, doesn't it?
Yeah,
yeah.
Sorry,
No,
I'll
I
put
don't.
across there as well. I just think that as well is they chop and change their minds a lot. Like it's still quite early. They might move the card again because there was a point where I wasn't even the main event in Dublin, then I ended up being the main event. So you know what I mean? They chop and change their minds. So I wouldn't put all my eggs in the one basket yet. I'd say maybe fight week will really know what way the card is. So I'm not really thinking too much into it. If they change me, they change me. If they don't, they don't. I'm just there to win, and I'll win at any time of the night, whether it's the start of the night or the end of the night. I'll win, and I'll make sure to get that hand raised. You know what I mean? Sorry, Baz, you can go away there.
Yeah, no, well, like Nate, you're obviously going to be a big ticket seller, and this is going to be on a Friday night. So if like the later you're on it, the easier it will be for your friends and family to get up to Belfast to actually watch it as well.
Yeah, that's one thing I was thinking. Like if I'm on earlier, it's like, oh fuck, whoever's gonna get up, they might not make it on time or do whatever. But
Get
at
the
the end of
PTO
the day,
booked
you know
in.
what I mean? I can't control the circumstances myself. I just need to focus on what's important for me. Like there used to be a period in time where I was like trying to micromanage people, what time they should be leaving at, what time they should be, what transport they should be taking, where like all the finer things I used to always stress about. But now, even in terms of the ticket sales, like I really pushed hard for Dublin, whereas this one, it's up in Belfast. I'm probably not going to get a lot of the people going that I had in Dublin, obviously, because it's further Spain and it's a Friday and it's a little bit harder for people to get there. So I'm not really putting too much stress on myself to push tickets this time around because, you know what I mean, the circumstances are different. But at the end of the day, whoever comes for me, and whoever is there to support me will have my my love and support. Do you know what I mean? So.
Yeah. Well,
you
like,
know what I mean,
well,
Baz?
there
If
is
you want the
there's a
main event
difference.
ticket sales, you need
Yeah,
to
but
have Nate on the main card, Basmo.
Yeah, well, the
Yeah.
difference is also being shown on Virgin Media, or else it's going to be shown on YouTube as well. But like as the fight actually comes around, we will know more. Nathan, you're obviously taking on Vikash Singh Ruhil. You're on a 9-fight win streak. What do you actually know about Vikash?
Yeah, so I actually, when I fought in the Challenger Series, PFL Challenger Series, he fought the same night as me against James Gonzalez. What do I know? He's actually a really nice, humble, sound fella. It's going to be a shame to try and knock him out. But he's a really nice guy. I have nothing but respect for him. He even let me use his boxing gloves. Isn't that a true way of the martial arts? The warm ups, I only had MMA gloves, so we were doing pads on the week of the fight, just doing a bit of training with Dave in the provided rooms they gave us at the hotel. But yeah, no, he's nice fella, really humble fella, really nice, down to earth fella. But yeah, I just think I'm levels above him. He has obviously way more experience than I have. But I just feel like his last fight was on that night. It was like this time last year, so he's going to be well over a year without being in the cage. And since then, I've had 2 or 3 maybe. So 2, sorry, I've had 2 since then. So this will be my 3rd. And yeah, I just feel like I've just gone from strength to strength. But I do feel like there's a lot of fundamental mistakes he makes, especially in terms of entries and striking and hand position and all that jazz. And I really do feel like this is the fight where I can get a nice clean knockout. And like if I can try like time stamp it or mark my word, I think a nice right, I'll knock him out with a right hand, either right hook or straight right across the jaw. And I think that's the shot that's going to put him away. So I'd like to sign that here. So if it does happen on the night, use her to here first, but that's the shot I feel is gonna win me the fight.
That sounds like a KO finish that should be on the main card, Ross.
I'm gonna beat that drum until like if you walked out first fight of the night, I'd be in the rear at the event being like, should have been on the main card. You'll have your hand raised and be like, hand raised should have been raised on the main card. And then Carl Moore win a world title and go, yeah, but Nathan Kelly should be on that main card.
Well, also now that Liam McCourt's fight against Sinead Kavanagh's off as well, there's a bit more room. So we'll see what happens in the future as well.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like everything, the cards are always subject to change. So it's hard to really know, boys. You might catch me on the later end of it, or you might catch me in mid. I don't know, but for now, our second my second and third or something. But they still have to add more fights as well. You know what I mean? Yeah. So they'll fill up the card with other fights and stuff like that. So we'll suss it out soon, but. Regardless of where I'm on the card, that right hand is gonna do some damage, I feel, in this fight. And there's a few shots that I've been working on, breaking some angles, and I really do feel like if I can catch him clean, it should be a clean knockout.
Nathan Kelly here, the shot caller. No bother to him, and a few KO SIEs afterwards. Celebrate.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely brilliant. For the people tuning in now, make sure to check out Nathan Kelly at Belfast. Bellator Belfast on March 22nd. As we said, it's going to be on a Friday. As it comes closer, we'll know if he's going to be on YouTube or Virgin Media Sports. But either way, it's going to be a night not to be missed. Nathan, is there anything else you want to say to people tuning in that are looking forward to seeing that sweet KO on the main card?
Yeah, so obviously tune in on the night. It's going to be on, fingers crossed, Virgin Media or YouTube, depending on where I'm at on the card. I predict a KO inside 2 rounds. I really do feel it. Hopefully it's the first, but it might take a little bit of feeling out to get the right shot. But I do feel like there's a KO there for me inside 2 rounds. And yeah, just expect full flow night to be out in force. I'm really on a good run here. I'm feeling the love. I'm feeling like I'm a real true mixed martial artist in the fullest form now. So I just really want to show it. I've been working hard the last 3 years, grafting, knocking out the fights, and you can really start to see me progression. I'd like to thank all my team and coaches up until this far. We've been doing a great job as usual, pushing each other and building the levels. I'd like to thank my sponsors coming on for this fight is the Dream Edit and Get Laid Carpets. They're supporting me for this. They'll be on the gear, so I want to give a big massive shout out to them for supporting me, and just really excited to put on another show and further cement my name in the history of Irish MMA.
Perfect.
There we have it. The fighting pride of the North Side.
Fighting pride of the North Side. They need to start calling me out on the. Anytime I put down that nickname on the ring announcement, they never bleed and do it. So I'm gonna go up there this time. I'm gonna go to Bellator. I'm gonna say, you better fucking say the fighting pride of the North Side. They must be thinking, that's too long. I don't want to do that, but I'm gonna make sure next time.
Yeah, or else I'll get in and announce you instead.
Yeah, and the fighting pride of the North Side. Oh, the fight's over, bollocks.
And the fighting pride of the North Side should be on the main card.
Yeah. That's why we need to just keep pushing that, because I remember for the PFL Dublin News are pushing it as well. That should be the main event, and then funnily enough, I end up getting there. So we should see.
Maybe we know the right people. Maybe I'm on to the right people.
Yes. There's no shame in that, boys. If I'm benefiting from it, then you should moan away all you need. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, at the end of the day, we're MMA fans, so we say we put out there what we actually want to see.
Yeah.
But Nate, we want to thank you very much for coming on the show, and we're going to let you get on with the rest of your day. But
Energized show, up the Irish. Been sussing you guys a couple of times. I've seen a couple of clips. I think you've done some interviews with Dylan Moran and that I saw. So keep going, keep up the good work, guys.